I'm really confused about all of the rioting that's happening right now because there's so much to it. It can't be just about that movie because that movie was not produced by America. It happened to be produced by an American and happened to be released, or the information about it that triggered the riots is right at the anniversary of September 11th. That's way too strange. It's like somebody has orchestrated that. Okay, that's the first thing. But was it orchestrated by a small group of people who just carefully disseminated that information about that movie that was supposed to inflame people to cause them to riot? Is that how it went down? And I think the people that are out rioting, if we were to interview them, I bet you if we interviewed 10 mad, angry, crazed rioters, I bet everyone would have a different reason for rioting. Because some of them, if this is about America, why are they upset at the German embassy and at the British embassy? And if this is about America, they need to understand that we can't arrest the people that made the video. Because in America, we have free speech. You can say anything you want about anybody. Just don't say anything about the Holocaust or anything about Israel. There are some problems. Because there were some college students down in Southern California who disrupted this Israeli speech, and they were exercising their free speech, but somehow they all got arrested. Similar. So anyway, there's a lot of inconsistencies and things that aren't fair. That ultimately it's going to get worked out, I believe. But so what is it? What is happening in the Arab world? If Prophet Muhammad, if you're a Muslim, from what I read, it seems like that Muhammad himself wouldn't be attacking people. The Prophet Muhammad himself had a lady threw garbage in his face, and he cared for her rather than attacking her or having thugs beat her up or burn down her house. He cared for her when she was sick, and she actually converted to Islam out of her own free will. If thugs had gone and burned down her house because she hated Prophet Muhammad and said bad things about him and threw garbage in his face, she would have died not a Muslim. So if you're a Muslim and you want to have more Muslims out there, when people do bad things and say bad things about your faith, shouldn't you go out there and prove to them by your actions that the stuff in the movie is false? If you go around attacking embassies in the name of this movie, it validates to everybody who doesn't like Muslims, doesn't know about Muslims, doesn't care about Muslims. All they learn is you make a Muslim angry and their faith tells them to attack you. Because it says to people who don't know you, those physical violent actions at an insult says that you are emotionally immature. It says that you cannot handle life and you have to behave in a physical way because you don't have the intellect to handle people in an intellectual, loving way, which is what I would expect from an intellectual, loving Muslim. But there are every type of people. There's this in Christianity. There's this in Muslims. There's this in atheists. There's angry people. And I'm wondering, again, what's the real reason for the protest? Is it really the movie? If it's really the movie, this stuff's going to be happening all the time, because anytime anybody puts any flea-bitten movie out, people are going to go nuts. And it's not helping Muslims all over the world, but I think it's got to be more than that. So what is it that America needs to wake up to here? And does this come back to Israel? Does this come back to 9/11? What's really happening? I mean, all these countries are so different that, can you give me an idea? Can you explain to me so I know what's happening? Thank you. One more thing. This kind of reminds me of the Rodney King riots. This Rodney King is beaten by police officers. This was many years ago in California. And the police officers weren't convicted. They were acquitted, let go. So people, mostly black people, in the poorest part of town, went on a crazy riot, shooting people, robbing, burning places. And it was all about the Rodney King verdict, but it wasn't really about the Rodney King verdict. Rodney King verdict was the straw on the camel's back. It was the last little thing that happened. But because they were Americans, We didn't say, we've got to cut their aid off, or these people are crazy. Look what being black has caused these people to do, because that's what we're doing. Look what being Muslim is causing these people to do. We've got to stop. We have to stop them, and we got to treat them tougher. It was happening in our own neighborhoods, in our own backyard with African Americans. And what was it about them? It wasn't just Rodney King. That was the tip of the iceberg. What was going on? They're poor. They're uneducated. They're downtrodden. They feel that they're not listened to. They have no voice. And they're rioting. So anyway, is there a connection? Let me know. Thanks.